we are just pending approval of a job order contract for the building remediation. So hopefully that will come as early as possible in the next fiscal year. I don't have a solid date. I don't know how long it will take, but that's the update that I have received, that Randy has received and has shared with me, which I am now sharing with you. That's all that I have in my report, but I did want to note, we talked about the coastal resilience master plan. Didn't want to forget that. They're right now working through some of the contracts and things, studies that they're going to have to do. And there will be more public engagement opportunities later on this year, including one specifically on the Sunset Cliffs project site. So while they did not give me a solid answer on coming specifically to the planning board, as it's been better, there will be a workshop for the Sunset Cliffs site specifically. Hopefully, I don't think it sounds like it's going to be shared with any of the other project sites. I think it'll be Sunset Cliffs only. So hopefully that means that they will be able to answer more specific questions. I will definitely make sure that they are aware that they need to accommodate far more people than the workshop last time did, because it sounds like that was a real big sticking people. So kind of a answer. Sorry. Okay, and with that.
Thank you, Margaret.
Yes.
Just an observation. I noticed the independent budget analyst says there's a $120 million budget gap in 27 budget. I would just relay to Councilman Campbell that if we need to share that with the city bureaucracy and not just try to levy it entirely on tax and taxpayers to tax and fee increases. And I testified the same thing before the city council last week.
Yeah, thank you. I will do that. Anybody else?
Yeah, I just wanted to say thanks that you got back to you about the Locust project.
Yes, and I know you have another response.
It's okay. The first person that has actually gotten back to me from any council member's office. So congratulations.
Margaret solved that way.
Yeah.
Because Margaret, I have been on the board for 5 years. They come here. She believes, like, we all have.
And she's probably will, or no, she has the best breath of the
Yeah.
You're so nice to me.
Didn't get Dallas for a while. We went to her job. We saw her at City Hall. So,
Yes, always come to city council and testify. I know some of you have done that before. I'm sure some of you will be doing that again soon. I work at City Hall, so if you're there, I'm probably in that building too.
feedback is regarding that presentation.
Yeah.
Just, if you give us plenty of time and
Certainly.
collaborate and potentially or subject council to kind of communicate the name.
Definitely. I would hope that they know by now, after the numerous emails and requests that both Randy and I have sent, that they should be interacting with you guys a little bit more proactively. So I will make sure that happens.
Thanks. I just got the flash because I'm an old guy of, Mutual of Omaha, as we make our way up the river into the city council. Only the old people in the audience know what the heck I'm talking about here. I can see all the young people. And it includes Margaret. Thanks very much, Margaret, for making me feel old just by standing there.
Oh, what does that mean?
Nice save. Okay, marching on the list here. Juana, not here. Nope. Salma. No. Dina. No. Anya. Yvonne. No. Well, Margaret, thank you for holding up the entire city on your shoulders. Your Atlas holding up all of your peers. Yeah. All right. Thanks very much for being here. You're consistent. And stay.
And would you believe that when I was in elementary school, I was the perfect attendance kid?
Yeah, for what it gets. Would not put that on him. We'll see pictures of your award later, right?
Oh,
Okay. Okay, so that concludes community reports. I didn't get any of them emailed in either, so I've got nothing to read from script. So moving on to the applicant initiated action items, we have one, and that is PRJ 109062 and 92 4051 Voltaire. Okay, and so I don't know how we're going to do this. You got a thumb
Try
drive.
that, or do we do this?
You got a thumb.
Well, I can do it off the paper. I didn't know.
Okay.
The other option is signatures.
Hold on.
You can use this if someone needs to see closer.
Or Eric, I can see it off.
Because it's.
Well, I said do it on Zoom on your laptop, but okay. Yeah, I can't unplug.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
There's nowhere to plug into.
Okay.
You can't get the link on project review committee is all it's really long.
If you're on the Zoom broadcast, because I'm controlling it from here.
All right, so maybe I can use the table as a prop.
Yeah, just don't knock the owl over.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, you can like set it up on the edge up here or something like that.
Okay.
So 4051 Voltaire Process 3 Site Development Permit. Construction of a 3-story, 39 apartment unit, 2 retail spaces, 92,133 square foot mixed use building. 0.7 acre site, CC 35 base zone, all the overlays. This is CA Marengo and came out of committee with recommended approval of 3-2. Okay, you're on.
Great. Good evening, Claude Anthony Marengo, CA, from Marengo Morton Architects, and presenting the Voltaire Plaza. It's I'm sure a lot of you know where that is, where the current site is. You turn on that. So we have on one side San Clemente, Wabasca, and then Voltaire Street. So we're totally an island in and of ourselves. North being parallel with Nimitz there. This is the west elevation. This is the corner of the property, Karen's. There it is again. This is the existing site plan. So you have Udall Street in the back, Wabasca here, Voltaire in front, and San Clemente. And we're looking at demolishing the three structures and creating a 2-story underground garage and 2 stories of structure with the retail facing in front here at Voltaire, and also here on Wabasca, the short 2 pieces anchoring. And then we have residential tying on the Wabasca side, and then a little bit on the San Clemente side on an angle. And then we dive away and have our clubhouse here and amenities on the side facing San Clemente. We had to give a dedication to the city for curb property line. So we are showing that on the Voltaire and the Wabasca side. There are drainage diagrams. So one of the things that's relevant is because we're building, we're having to show that all the water is being either retained or utilized in our vegetation. And if it's not, we have to prove how much outflow is coming out into the street and not increasing the outflow that is currently coming off the site. The site is currently paved completely as a parking lot. And we are including and putting in landscaping areas to absorb a lot of the waterfall. Between the two structures, we have a courtyard and walkway that accesses like an interior court. So we have all these green areas here that achieve that. This is the area in dark that is considered basement level because the site goes flat. And as it goes up to Udall, there's an exchange in height. Instead of going higher on the Udall site, we're going down. So we're going to level ourselves off at Voltaire and go all the way back to Udall. And it'll look shorter on that end of the street because it's higher up. And it'll have a 2-story on the Voltaire side, which you'll see later in the picture. This gives you a little bigger blow up to show how we plan to put the street trees all the way around the property. And then our planting areas and trees within the property. I need to switch. Whoops. And then here we go. Sorry. If you want to.
Why not?
It'd be more fun. 2 of us.
Then you
And 3.
can first.
Oh, wow. Thank you.
Can you rotate it just a little bit? And
So good.
Yeah.
Or can see it.
Now you have to share with others, Andy.
Thank you.
It's now Vanna.
Yeah.
Full sign Vanna.
All right, so I'm starting off with the parking plan. So we have, we enter off of Wabasca and come around. And so we double back and we have, it's really 1.5 times, but it's a 2-story structure that goes underneath. We have our storage and items on the outside and back over here. So each side of the parking garage has storage. Sorry. That, and then this is a diagram to show, this is our first floor, but we're showing an offset diagram. So we're breaking up the plane so we're not one big box, we're going back and forth. And then we're having to do some play with the roof as well. So our goal is, you heard how much square feet was in this thing. We're trying to break it up and give the housing some elements that are more individual than one big long line. So you'll see that these are the units on the side and on the back. This is the opening in between. This is the garage entrance. This is the retail. And then this is the retail up here. Second story goes up, and then we have over the top of the retail is a residence. And then this is the second story. And this is the clubhouse. So I have a couple ADUs that I'm putting in. They all of these are for rent material, and the ADUs can't be sold. So we're putting one here and one on top on this other area. This is the retail back over here again. And this is the next level up. So now the retail shows up in here. I have my ADU next to it, these two. And then this is the last one. So there's 4 ADUs coming into play. And we have total of 39 units. So it's 35 units plus the 4 ADUs.
And how many parking spaces?
That's a great question. We have sorry for a second here. 62 parking spaces, 6 motorcycle spaces, and 24 bike spaces.
Is that in? Those are in addition to
The bicycle and the, yes,
okay, and then how many of those would be designated for the retail spaces?
so the retail space is on its minimum of 1 space per space. They're small retail spaces.
So only one parking space
Space
per
per
retail.
Yeah, I believe that's correct. Hold on, let me check and make sure.
Two bedrooms, two bedrooms, get 2 parking spots, single bedroom, 2.
I have it here marked. I can, I apologize. So there's there. It says 2 plus the handicap, and then there's, no, that's correct. There's 2 dedicated 2 spaces and the handicap that are near the elevator that are dedicated to the retail.
So for the retail, they access it by entering into this parking structure?
The retail, so the retail parking typically is for the workforce that occupies it. It's not for the people visiting. That's by parking the site. We're trying to free up the street to make it parkable for people that visit. So that's why we would come in here, they would go there, they get into the elevator and then come into the lobby, which goes to the retail store. I'll show you that. Sorry. One more time. So this is the elevator. You have doors here, or you can enter into one door into the retail store. This is the roof plan. So we're offering solar on the roof on this side, which is a more level roof. These roofs don't have solar because the roofs are going to be inclined, and you'll see that in a little bit. So this I know looks short, but this is the Voltaire corner that comes out into a V. So you'll see the retail that's here with the residential on top. This is a 3-story element where it goes up 2 stories and then back to this V structure, which this is the residential entrance. And then at the property line, this V's back and goes up Wabasca on an angle. So you're going to see that in a little bit here. At the building into sections, so you can see it better. This is coming from Udall in the back. So your 2 stories here, and as it goes up, this is your height line in yellow and your grade line in red. And then you see this is the enlargement here, but you can see here the height line that we only come close in one little area, then we pop back up and go across. So as we go up, this gets shorter on the back side. That's the existing grade, except when I cut into the slope, right? So when you look at the parking lot now, it slopes upward and the buildings are against Udall. We're taking from the Voltaire side and we're cutting it straight back. And then the grade that we're measuring to is the lowest between the 2. Okay. Adjacent grade to the structure. This is the front side. So this is this is the Wabasca Udall corner with the retail, and to the right is the Wabasca side. So these are my units, and you can see that my roof slopes up and down going through there, and that's my yellow is my height line and red is my grade. Okay. Forever. Okay. So we did a little enlargement on this side so you can see better these pieces. This is the front on Voltaire. And you can see my height line is following grade. As the grade stops, that goes down, follows with it. This is going from Voltaire up to Udall. So you can see that this is the clubhouse, which is facing on the San Clemente side. And the San Clemente side is a little bit more of the rear of the structure. Because we're doing a lot of affordable housing in this project, we tried to put all the amenities on the Wabasca and Voltaire side. In terms of finishes, a lot of affordable housing projects end up going a little bit shallower in terms of detail. And we tried to keep the outside good, where we intend to put trees on the property on the inside areas where it cuts deeper into our property. We tried to soften and have less items so that we could kind of gang up and put more finish on the other side. So this, we have grass areas and things, and we hope to put trees up against here and here so that it doesn't look blank in this area. And then we have units on that side. And you can see here where I said that it steps up. And then that's the height of the building from the street side on Udall. So then this is the Voltaire side. And San Clemente is on your right, Wabasca is on your left. So that shows you another view of that. And then this is a section cut through the building. And we're connecting our grades inside the courtyard and going all the way up. So this is my yellow height line. And I come close over here where it looks like it's passing here. On the other side, it's sloping, and I'm getting underneath that as well. Right, I can switch. Yeah, let's even do this. Is it this? All right. You gotta be tired.
No, I can.
That's okay.
Hard to present.
Yeah. All right. So then this is another section through the building. So the last one went this way. This one's now going across that way. And you can see there's my garage on the 2 levels. And then this is my height line going across. I know. Well, if you held it steady. All right, so this is cutting through the residential tower, the entrance. So we had to show the city how we were going through from the left side to the right side on the residential tower. This is the residence on top of the retail. And then this is our entry tower area. We did, because there's so much movement in this, we did several cuts through here so you could see how everything's happening, but it's more of that. Let me get to you. We even did little sections. I'm going to get to the part that at least you can understand what's happening. Less technical, more visual. This is going to be the view from Wabasca. So this is the retail side and the entry tower. That's Voltaire in front. This is Wabasca coming down the side, and this is the other retail store. So you can see that we put a lot of detail into this elevation and the front Voltaire elevation.
How you doing?
I'm doing okay. You got me?
Yeah, I'm online watching that.
2 stories this side.
Loma,
Yes.
community
It only
board
goes 3 in this section here. And then on the
project
San
at
Clemente side, there's a
4051
clubhouse with 2 AVs.
That's 3 stories.
That's 3 stories.
Trying to be better.
So I tried to break it
Yeah,
up. So it's not
I'd
one
like to
big-
see what's happening.
And what was the total height?
Total height in the 3-story area is 29.
I'd like to hear how you're doing.
Great. Okay, Rob, you be good.
That's why I tried to
Yeah, thank
break
you.
it
Bye-bye.
up. So you don't have that as one big piece. This is a more detailed view of that. So you can see that my roofs are coming low and then coming up.
And then the first story is below grade then?
First story, so we're vegetating up against the retaining wall. And then this is 2 feet down below street, because I started Voltaire at 0 equal,
Right.
and I'm cutting as I go back. So it gets deeper as I go. Yeah. So you can see that back over here, it's a little bit deeper than this one, and so forth, it gets shallower. Our materials are stone, brake metal, and glass. This is the Voltaire corner. A 1,000 cuts. This is the retail and the residential on top. This is the residential, so you can see that it went up and then this goes back. To cut that 3rd story elevation there. And then this is the Wabasca side that comes from this side.
I have a question. What is that dirt looking right there? Yeah, right where your hand is. What is that supposed to be?
That is the corner of the street. That's
No, I know, but right there, what is that supposed to feature?
Yeah, I'm part of that.
It's just
yeah, I don't know. I think it's
That's just the highlights, look at the thing. Shadow.
yeah. Don't know how to explain that. Yeah.
Rendering software byproduct.
Okay. This is from San Clemente. So you can see some of the finishes die down a little bit, a little more calm.
And is that a clubhouse?
That's the clubhouse.
And if there's a house that's on that corner right there, and how far back are you, what's your setback?
Our
from that
setback
property?
is a residential setback from there, so it's 10 feet.
You're 10 feet from that property.
Everywhere else where we're 0 and 10 allowance because of our CC 3.5. We didn't go to the 0, we went to like 4. And in some areas we went to 0. The new dedications are pushing us back. We're already giving up because it used to be 10 feet for dedication, now it's 12 feet. And one of them is 14 feet, so while we were giving 4 before 2, they got sucked up, but they were on the Voltaire and the Wabasca side. You still have the planting in front, so you don't feel like you're right on the sidewalk. There, that shadow went away. That's the corner there. So it's a little different because now what you have is you have a parking lot and the marquee that's sitting over here. Of what's there today. When we complete this corner into it, it'll be more rounded out. And then. I'm sorry, that's the corner of Udall. I misspoke.
Yeah.
I gotta read my own drawing. These 2 retails look the same to me, so it's like they got me confused, but yes, this is Udall on the high side and this is Wabasca side.
So,
I apologize.
so the retail is 1 story on either end, and what's the square footage of that?
The square footage on the
And
retail,
1 parking space for the people that work there
Yeah.
and a handicap space for each.
handicap, there's handicap space with 1 for commercials required. And then we have several for residential as well, but the handicap's open to whoever
Right,
is needing it. So it's not assigned.
okay.
Let me answer that question for you. Don't have it broken out, so when we get a complaint. Hey. You're right. You've been treated one. 1,077 for the first retail. And 1,029 for the second retail. So they're smaller spaces.
Those code mandated.
It was they are, for the known, they're required. One of the comments that came up in our subcommittee review was, are they going to turn into residential convert? We're not intending to do that. That's not, we believe that will mess up our bonuses, because we got bonuses to do this project because of affordable housing. So it's like we would lose that if we switched it, whereas some people have done it because they did bonus.
So then you would build it as a commercial space, but you could occupy, we have that in the areas that I do a lot of work in, we can't rent them. So then we outfit them commercially, and then when the market gets strong enough, and it does, it's already built for commercial existence. And they can switch over if they want, whatever the market will bear, but with affordable housing, I can't do that.
The current structure is filled with 9 or more local businesses that flourish there. So I don't know if there's time to speak later, so
Yeah.
I apologize if it's not the time, but the area is fully stocked with local people earning a hard living.
Yes,
So I ask that you please consider.
absolutely. I'm one of them. So am I. I just left.
So am I.
Now. Yep, and it will affect, you're putting in 39 units,
Too many.
but it'll affect 39 families directly. But that building.
I have a bunch of kids that walk down to our studio because they have a dance studio. I really just walk in class. Yeah.
And what do you consider affordable housing?
We don't consider it. The city does that. It's the housing commission that does it. So we're not even able to rent them ourselves. You apply to the housing commission and they place them.
How many of you are?
Yeah.
We're going on your presentation. Yeah, let's finish and then we'll come back to comments.
All right.
Absolutely. Get that off my phone. That's No, you can. Yeah, thank you. Sorry. Great job. Terminal paper. Yeah. Pleasant. There we go. Get there. It's gonna be the last sheet, man. Or did I miss one? Hold on, so that maybe it was not many people. So this was all images.
Look, you know, what it was for breakout for affordables.
It was 11 units, if I remember right.
Cause it's, here where they all,
It's all in the city program, so you apply in the city and you feel it's sort of like it was tiered, but that is tiered.
Are you applying, then are you getting the bonus and so straight on code? So.
Took note, that, we got a bonus for that too. So that's why I can't do the retail, because if I take away the retail, I lose units, but I didn't ask for the base.
Okay, so you're not using the bonus density program, you're not using the complete community, you're not using anything.
That-
So you're affordable.
Remember, we kept the retail, we kept the parking, we kept the height under control, so we weren't knocking anything out, so we got units for not knocking it.
You say you have four
ADUs.
ADUs in there right now, and that was the basis for this.
It wouldn't be the basis.
Inclusionary housing is required, so 10% of housing on any new project over 10 units
It's right here.
requires 10% of the housing to be inclusionary for 30%. And for 60% AMI.
So this is my breakdown right here. So, yeah, that's how I got the
So you got, you
I didn't head out municipal code to get, when you do these things, you can knock out 2 items from. There's,
you did not any exceptions.
that's exactly right.
So you did this.
Yeah, for sure.
So that would be.
That's a,
That would be a bonus.
that is a bonus.
That would.
But to the city, it's not, I'm not deviating from the code. Does that make sense? By getting affordable housing and doing.
But you're still getting a density bill.
Still
You're
getting,
doing 2.5, you know, far multiples.
yeah.
And you said 11 affordable units?
It is,
Four.
this is very low is 11,
Oh.
right?
Okay.
So I have very low at 11. I have, the units that are permitted density, is 21. And then I have, this is request for, it's, the incentive waiver. That got me 3 by not asking for anything. And then that gave me my 35 plus the 480 use. Does that make sense?
Why does this use?
Because I get those ADUs based on the lots that are there. And so that's why I get 2 per lot.
So they're not going to still count on the density because they're ADUs.
That is correct. So it's really, that is correct.
So
Yes,
it's,
you have 4 restricted to very low income.
Yep.
And
Why
that's,
is that the 11?
it says 4 restricted to very low income here.
It's posted on the sign too outside the building.
This is how many units you're allowed to build based on your max density. And then this is your inclusion.
I did the perception. Yes.
Your sign that you have posted outside the building says 39 apartment units, 4 units set aside for very low income.
It's 4. It's only 4. You're getting 11 extra because you're designating
Because of the
4.
4.
Yeah.
I
But there's
apologize.
only 4. You're getting 11 extra units because you're
As I did.
designating 4 as very low.
Okay,
I know, me too.
that makes sense. Okay.
hold on a second. Okay, so we got this question, 4 affordables,
Right.
31 market rates. And your 4 affordables get you the far multiple to get the additional units to get to your density. Right?
Correct.
Is that right, Christine?
Yeah, he's getting us 4, but, and then he also is putting one of his ADUs restricted to moderate.
Okay, so Joe, no, so,
But
right,
it's gonna
But
be
it-
restricted.
right.
For all
But
of
they're
it,
still
all of it's
by right.
Yeah.
All right.
Because it's going through that, but only the ones that are
Go first, no.
market rate. Okay. Yes.
Floor to area ratio and then,
Where are you?
Going above what the base code FAR is, but. Are you?
What was it? I'm sticking to that.
So you're sticking to the FAR, you're just being able to add more units on that, so it's more units, okay.
okay. The other question I have is with the street parking, will there be restriping along the street curb to facilitate? There's a lot of threaded out curbs in that area.
Yes, that's required. That's we're required to do all curb and gutter and restripe and get that back up. Our parking now, instead of having the 2 driveways, we're gonna have the 1 driveway, so you're gonna gain a little bit in there.
Okay, and then do you know how many units off the street that you can calculate, or do you have?
How many units?
How many spaces for parking?
62.
No, 62 total.
That's on,
Underneath.
Underneath, are you talking about the street side?
talking about the street with the,
I might be able to tell you. Usually if I wasn't providing parking, I would give you a site analysis of that. No, I don't believe I have that.
so you don't have that, okay, and then, you talk about the trees, I saw some palm trees there. Are you going to replace those with other like canopy trees, because those don't really do anything for the environment?
Totally, so the palm trees,
Or was that adjacent?
they're not part of the shade coefficient for, thing for the city, so they're going to make me do what the street tree is for your neighborhood.
Okay, so they will transit, okay, thank you, that's what I wanted to make sure, and then. You said something about the ADUs, I understand that the affordability, the San Diego Housing Commission deed restricts all of those units.
Yep.
But you mentioned something about transferring ownership.
Transferring.
Yeah, earlier you said something about the ADUs transferring, this will continue to be in.
No, I was saying that this is apartment, right?
Yeah, this will
Okay,
continue to be.
they can't sell them.
Oh, I see,
Just
okay.
Like
Just-
like condos, you couldn't, even if they went and condo mapped it, you couldn't sell the ADU. The ADU has to be attributed to one of the units or, be held.
Okay. Right, and then, do you intend to?
Same with the affordable housing, sorry.
So nearby is Nimitz Crossing, it's across the way. They did have retail space, they weren't able to get retail, they were charging quite a bit, and so they came back and they asked us to convert those. We did hold him accountable for the affordable units because he grew, the numbers, the math was mathing, but those ended up becoming short-term vacation rentals all along the street level. And so do you have any intention of adding STBRs? And then you said something about the retail. Are you gonna manage the retail on that, or are you working
The
with?
ownership, I'm just the architect.
You're just
Yeah.
architect,
But
okay.
the ownership intends to manage the retail.
And my only thing is just again, coming into a community with a lot of small businesses and we're competing with a lot of big box retailers that if you could let the owner know, I know there's no requirement, but that they would work with the existing shop owners to see if there were opportunities for them to take advantage of those retail spaces once they're available, if that.
Yeah, I mean, I know that she would love that, if she could, she's trying, it's a generational ownership right now.
Okay.
And so she's trying to survive through this that's why it's taken us a long time to come see you. But she would like nothing more.
And then the final question has to do with the spaces. You talked about 2 bedrooms and 1 bedrooms and ADUs. How many, I didn't get the units, how many 2 bedrooms will there be total out of those units?
Is a good question. I think they're all 2 bedrooms except for the ADUs are the 1 bedroom.
So that's.
How much do you have on here designated which ones are
Five.
affordable units?
I believe that's not the plan. That's the.
For all the affordables or 2 bedrooms as
Oh,
well.
actually, it has to be equal, so like I can't just go and give the affordable to, but that's the worst one in the lot. So it's supposed to be open until we do the.
But no one ever gets a penthouse away.
Well, there's no penthouse. Yeah. There's no penthouse. We do call out the ADU. And we do.
One. For.
Each. My bad. Yes, I do call them out. You'll see there on the left, it says very low.
Yes, second. Angela, did you have something?
Well, they're explaining about the parking.
Oh, I
Um,
thought you had a question.
I did, but they had just told me about how many have 2 bedrooms, so 25 are 2 bedrooms?
Yeah, the majority are 2 bedrooms and there is designated what is the ADU and what is the low income. Which is noted on the floor plan.
I'm just thinking about that, so the 4 ADUs, are those studios, are they one?
So I've got right now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6, 7, 8. So 24 2 bedrooms.
25.
25, and there's one that's not in the stat.
I was just going off.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying, I just tried to count it on the thing. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, And then these are 1 bedrooms. That's a 1 bedroom. And that's a 1 bed.
And does the ADUs each have a parking space as well?
Yeah, everything's counted.
Okay, so I saw something that says 0.75 of a parking space.
Right, so that's based on chapter 14 in the parking regulations on what gets what 1 bedrooms versus 2 bedrooms. And whether we're in transit zones and stuff, so it's the 0.75 is a round up to 1. I can't make a 0.75. But what it happens is it's about the aggregate, right? When I add those numbers together, then it goes up. And if I only had one, if I only had 1.75 would be 1.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Andy?
I'd like to make a few comments to answer the lady's question. An affordable unit for a family of 4, someone who makes $132,400 or less. According to that, for a family of 2, it's $105,950. That's what implicitly, you make less than that, then you qualify for an affordable unit. And that's what the basics of the market rate, all these market rate units are based upon. I took a slide around proposed site as well as what we found is that this was adjacent to a single family neighborhood. And I've been informed that there were 5 dense units being built within the 2.5 block area of this site within the past 4 of which have been built within the past 10 years. So there is more density in this neighborhood. I look at it from the point of view of the community, not just architectural. It's a nice building. But I'm looking at it from the point of view of the community. And it seems, and we also, when we drove it around, we saw there was a lot of traffic on Voltaire around that. So I voted against your project.
Yeah.
Because I don't think that the neighborhood could accommodate another dense apartment complex in there or have the traffic. I think your project is nice, but I don't think the community could afford it, especially since it's encroaching into a single family unit. And that's why I did it.
Across the board.
Yeah, I'd just say, like, I think you did a great job with it, and it's unfortunate for the business owners. But it is generational property, it is so like personal, multi-family, we need more houses. And I think you guys want to build beyond required, you build a lot less spaces, still met code, you could build another 9 feet. On a large part of this building, you didn't do it, so like, I think it's good design, good balance, and I think we're gonna have more density, and this is the right way to do it. Developers, you come to us with a plan that's above and beyond the code is. And if that's what the landlord wants to do with the land, like, that's what they should do. So I applaud you for going above and beyond what was required by the code. And I think we should think of that as an organization. Otherwise, we're going to go around and do a decision. And we're not going to come here and have conversations about it. We're going to see it as obstructionist and not.
Public comments. Yeah.
I would like to hear from some of the people that actually have businesses there, because I live in the area and I frequented a lot of the businesses, and I agree that it looks nice, really does. But I live out of Catalina, about a half mile from the corner of Voltaire. And I'll tell you, that building right on the corner there, that apartment building that's been there probably 10 years now, next to the pot pie or pie shop and chess arena and things, it's all nice, but you walk out of that building and you're on the street. There's not enough places, like when I know, because I drive there. All right, so I stop at the light to make a left on Catalina. I stay way back because people can't even between the parking. I'm just saying that I'm very concerned about Voltaire, and I know other people have been on Voltaire at like 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon. People try to do other things, but that's what I'm concerned about. I disagree that we need more affordable housing here, but 39 units in there, or I don't know, and I'm sure other people.
The site can easily handle it, I mean, especially with the parking being there. I think.
It's not
But-
big enough.
No, I understand, but keep in mind, this site is not all fronting Voltaire, right? It's the shortest part is fronting Voltaire, and I kept the commercial side on the Voltaire so that the activity stays active and it doesn't become a unit coming out onto a busy street the way you're saying.
You know,
It's on the basket.
Busy, it's all busy.
Well, like this, it's
Good. Okay, go ahead, please.
I've worked at Karen's consignment for 8 years.
Yeah.
I've witnessed before even, okay, this one went in and then this one went in over here on whatever that other street is. I witnessed, I mean, when those kids get out of school, okay, you got the parents going to get the kids, you get the kids walking. It's like near misses constantly, and people will stop on Voltaire at the light. And then the other people that are gonna, miss their green light, they block the intersection. So then you got people coming around with Wabasca blowing through the red light that they're supposed to stop at to get onto Voltaire, to get out of the traffic zone. It is insane. And then you add the electric bikes on top of the kids, on top of the cars crammed through there, almost killing the kids. I mean, literally, I've almost seen 5 kids get hit on that crosswalk by cars, just trying to get through that traffic. So for you to sit there and say that whatever the parking is gonna be fine, it's not about the parking, it's about the traffic and the additional probably 70 cars that are gonna be coming through there at probably about the same time. It's ridiculous. It's a ridiculous concept. And if this project had got into this building zone thing before the other 2 did, then maybe it would be feasible. But the fact that you're trying to add another bigger unit to the already 2 units there is ridiculous. And, it's gotta stop at some point. Somebody's got to put the brakes on. And those businesses, which I'm included in having a new business now, after being with Karen's for 8 years, these ladies right here, the hairdressers, the dance lady, there's a new resale shop that just opened up. And these are the people that live here, that have put into this community there. And all my kids have gone to all these schools around here, so I know it's traffic.
I totally understand.
So for this to even be contemplated is ridiculous, and it's just big money,
The person that.
big developers.
Person that-
Feel like,
This is not a big developer, that's the person.
I realize it's not new and all of that, it's just too big. Why does it have to be too big? I live here and
I started that saying by, it's a generational property.
I know.
And she's trying to survive.
Okay, one at a time, please.
If it was your property and you, it was the only way you had to live the way you're protecting parents, you would understand where she's standing at. She's trying to get her money out of her property so that she can live there. Or not live there, but, live. So she's developing. She's not a developer.
Occupied, she's making money off of it now, I mean, like, I don't know her financial situation, but
That's exactly right.
it's like, it's not broke.
You pay taxes and you get inheritance and you owe money and you
Yeah,
get forced to
I
do things.
understand that. I
Really
understand that.
That's,
That whole thing, like with it, I mean, I get things change and everything, and I understand all of that, but like, I started in like the end one on the corner, and this is like within the last 2.5, 3 years. And then I called it the wine lady, the one that's 2 doors down, it's next to something, then I took over that one. And I had those 2, and then after that, took over the other half of Karen, so like in the last 3 years, I've had to rebuild and do new studios, like I'm tapped out, like tired. But the thing is last night I had like a little meltdown, like looking up other things, if this happens, like. There's not gonna be anywhere in this neighborhood for the kids to go, to do, like, there's the music store, people behind me. And the dance with, we have so many, we have like the homeschooling kids and the other part, I do all this madcap kids and all the other things, like. I'm gonna have to go down by the harbor to have a studio, which it kind of takes away from our community. And how many retail units are gonna be in there? 2, and
One we have.
your two, I probably need both of them, right, because of the, gotta move, but also.
They're
to be on
separated,
top of
they're
the dance
opposite ends.
studio. And like, they know it, and then what are we supposed to do in the meantime? Like, it's a lot.
It's a lot. I know that it is a lot for change, but I do know at Liberty Station, there are some opportunities for artists to get some.
I will say,
to the
some
art
of this is
district.
super duper price, and after like rebuilding and remodeling, like putting it on the floor, like this 10,000 just for me to do one floor and everything, to do it again and again and again, and in 3 years is a lot.
Yeah.
So.
Sam,
When,
you had a-
when is this proposed to change?
Well, we have to, so we're complete with our review. It took us a while to get through the process and get through the housing commission and all that. So we are slated for, after finishing here, we haven't done our building permit or our construction documents. She still has to, do that, but the site development permit is what we're asking for here. And so as soon as that happens, then she has to see how she's going to pay the next round to get the engineers and us onto the next level. So it's gonna take a little bit.
6 to 12.
Yeah.
6 months a year.
Yeah, Sam, you had a comment?
I seem to hear, I beg the question.
Good, Christine.
Is this in coastal?
It is, we're not in coastal on this. This site, that's why I said site development. I do only coastal, so I had to catch my tongue when I was getting. Yeah, no.
Now, Sam?
So, how do you get the property, or does the person that owns this actually own all these existing businesses that they're?
She owns the land that's she is the owner of the land right now of all the existing businesses. Her parents had passed and she inherited this. And so she's trying to, deal with it and getting advice. I'm just doing the architecture and the processing for it.
Actually, I wanted to ask some of the people that are here that are concerned about this. Are you taking the risk that these people have provided parking? But if you don't get approval, will you have another project come along that won't have as much in the way of helping for your community with the same? I know that area very well because my wife buys the top high place, so I know just how bad the parking is, and I can never, I have to usually walk half a mile so that I can park without getting a ticket there. And I know that it's in that area, but are you running a risk that it could be, the next project could be worse?
A lot of mine walk, like a lot of our people walk, like we go down to Lower 2 Liberty Station, like if we go move, we're not coming back, like, because it's, I can't do 5,000.
You were in OV too, right? Were you out of?
No, I've been in that corner in 3 different, well, I have 2 of them, but
Oh.
it was in one, gained another, then left that one and kept.
Alright, so we can transition.
Yep.
The young lady's been waiting patiently.
Sorry,
Like,
when you're concerned with like the dance and like the arts and everything, my whole life I've taken dance lessons in Nova Station. I did math caps and practice in Nova Station and had to get art lessons there and stuff. So like I know like me personally from my experience, I've been able to still be in the community and there's a lot of opportunities like for dance and arts and stuff. Like at least from where I am, so.
I teach down Liberty Station too with math caps, for sure. I get that, it's just with a lot of like our normal clients and stuff, they walk to the studio.
Andy, and then back to you.
I just wanted to make a process comment. When I asked whether there was neighborhood opposition to this project, I was responded that notices had been posted, but they had been taken down or blown away. So that's why I posted it on Nextdoor to allow the community an opportunity to invite them to comment one way or the other here.
It was torn down 4 times. I put it up 4 times, so.
Yeah, so, but no one, the community really didn't have a chance to see the notification.
Correct.
The other thing I want, and this is a comment to this committee at all, as a whole, the mayor is trying to cram density down our throats right now. And you cannot just look at one project after another and say, oh, well, this qualifies under the code. You have to look at it from a community standpoint as to whether it's good for your community. And I conclude after seeing that this abutted on a single family neighborhood, I just don't, and that there are 5 dense projects within a 2.5 block radius, and this is only about 4 blocks from here. That this committee needs to take a stand on density and look beyond the pre-drawings, which are good. But I think they have to look at it from the point of view of the community and not just the architectural drawings.
And I think the only thing I would say to that is that in hearing you say that, it sounds like we're the only one abutting residential, the whole corridor that
A
abuts.
lot of them are doing it.
I mean, it's zoned that way, right? So you would want to change, as a community group, you'd want to change the zoning of your commercial corridor to stop that versus going this way.
Okay, so we're gonna do 2 final comments and then draw discussion to a close. So
Actually, I think.
I got answered.
Pretty much.
Okay,
I want to say exactly what he's saying. It's just too much density. I do have a business there, but I'm not doing this selfishly. I want art to be good, you know? But I also live right here and it is too dense there right now. It just is. It has been, especially ever since they did put those residential spaces in the building that was supposed to be commercial. Now it's like, and then there is one retail parking space that does not cut it. 39 units here, that's double it, or 35, double it. So 70 people, more people at least, going through that area every day. So I want it to be, it is beautiful and I want it to be something, but I just don't think that's it.
okay, so we're gonna draw discussion to a close. We've been on this for 40 some odd minutes. Final points from across the board, just any points of order, anything?
Yes, yeah, I just like to make a comment that this board, this committee has been working very hard to protect our single-family residents. We worked very hard to repeal the ADU bonus program, SB 9, and we continue to work hard to protect our community and our neighborhood. There's additional legislation coming down the state to try to increase these bonus laws. So it's very important for us to continue to work hard and try to repeal these. You know, the mayor has an agenda. It's just unfortunate. And as you heard here, we can have another developer come here and go over the 35-foot limit, reduce parking. So the developer here has worked very hard to try to accommodate and be within a reasonable bound. So it's a very tough situation. And we just need to continue to work hard. The elections are coming. We need to be careful who we vote for. Because we do still have a lot of work to do to protect our community.
Okay, thanks. Did you want to get Dawn?
I just want to say something real quick.
Okay.
Is that,
Welcome.
the new units that went up across the street from you guys, they were selling for like 1.3. People are already moving from there, wanting to sell them because, and this is what they told me, is because they can't have anybody come over, there's no parking. You know, even though they have 2 parking spaces themselves, just to have family and neighbors if the parking's ridiculous.
I was like, what
All right, so now the discussion, I would like to make a motion to approve this project and tag on to what Javier is saying. There's a couple things about this project that I appreciate, one being under the 30-foot height limit. Javier is right, he can go as high as he wants if he utilizes complete communities and state density bonus law. And the parking, while it's, we, conversation of how much, I do appreciate the amount of units that he's got here. It's not perfect, but it is something. We've seen a lot of developments get here where very little parking or they rely on the street parking. The one issue I've already stated about is working with these retailers. I know that there's only 2 spaces, knowing that there's a private owner who owns this and wants to maximize her property. Seeing the impact to small business owners, that there would be an opportunity for her to maybe give them first dibs or work with these businesses who have already made a relationship there. I do have concerns about the parking and the proximity, but I do believe that being that you've kept the FAR, you've kept the 30-foot height limit, you are you've got 11 affordable units, and some of them are deeply affordable, and so.
Or very high.
Before deeply, deeply, though, that's.
The very low income.
That's what I'd like to see more of in our communities, because a lot of times the city will push like AMIs and a multi, tiered housing, and it ends up being subsidized for people that make quite a bit of money, more up to, $130,000. So I would like to make a motion to approve this, but just again, I know it's not enforceable, but with the exception that the owner work with the business owners to get them free homes if there's an opportunity there when it does open with the new
I
development.
will mention that too. So. Do I have a second?
Well, yeah, point of order.
Not yet, Warren, we have a motion,
No, I want to make a substitute motion, which is a privilege.
okay?
I want to make a motion to deny this project. For the fact that we have to take a stand against the mayor and his density from this committee.
So do I have a second for Mandy's motion to approve? You got a second to approve. Okay. So. We have a motion on the table. We'll come back to the countervailing motion, but. Okay, so. I have a motion. Seconded to approve the project. Okay, so. Calling the vote. All in favor?
Well, wait a minute. We were manning election table. I haven't had a chance to hear the presentation, but I am quite familiar with Webasto and Voltaire. And I spent a number of years of my life, and I'd have to say, make a remark on me.
Okay, can you keep it short though?
Pardon me?
Can you keep it short?
Yes.
Okay,
We put Webasto on a road diamond. It was a 4-lane street that at most needed 2 lanes. And to accomplish that, we had to get a supermajority of owners of property to approve diagonal development. And it seemed almost hopeless, but we persevered. And whether in some cases, the homeowners are out of town, absentee, whatever. We got the diagonal parking, which created extra parking right along this particular development. So I am familiar with that, and I am familiar with the need for parking. And in my opinion, that 36 parking spaces doesn't help.
It's 62 parking spaces, and it doesn't affect the diagonal parking that you're talking.
It's on-site parking.
That's on my piece. Right? And appreciate this again, chance to help.
yeah. All right, so we have a seconded motion. Okay, and so we're going to vote on the motion. Okay, so all in favor? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, all opposed? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Motion carries 6-5. I don't.
Well, the chair has.
It would have to be a tie.
Vote to make or vote.
Yeah, it's not a tie, it's 6-5. Yeah,
Thank you for your time. I understand it's a sensitive subject, so I can appreciate what you're doing.
Thank you.
I'm calling my support.
take Andrew, Andy. No,
No, I'm leaving.
okay. Okay. We still have, okay.
I don't have any appointments. We're just gonna move along here. Next, on action item here is board action, initiated action item. Two, can discuss and approve, potentially approve the letter for City Rules Committee, City Council to oppose proposed city council procedure changes to comply with SB 707. The draft is circulated to you all, Javier.
Yeah, thank you, Eric. Well, just a little background, Senate Bill 707, which was recently passed, requires that during council meetings or public meetings, that people that are in person or online be given the same opportunities and the same privileges to speak. For city council, that wasn't the case. So the clerk presented proposals last month at the Rules Committee. And what was presented was seating time to only groups of 5. So that would eliminate pairs or people, 2 people or 3 people getting together to seat time and make presentations. We felt that would disenfranchise individuals and maybe favoritize groups, people that belong in organizations. And they also required a 48-hour notice of your presentation. They wanted that delivered. There was a lot of deliberation on this and a lot of comments. Yesterday at the Rules Committee, though, council changed direction and they agreed not to eliminate seating time. So it was very good news, and they changed the time that is required to provide your presentations instead of 48 hours to 24 hours. So that was also good news. We also had concern about that. So our letter of opposition is really moot now. But what I suggest, the clerk made a last-ditch effort to try to minimize groups to 3 and eliminate pairs. So that may come up. So my recommendation is that we approve the letter. It may come up before our next board meeting. Maybe approve the letter and allow the chair to present it and modify it if that does need to be modified. So.
I would make a motion to that effect.
Okay.
And then just for clarity on that, was that just because going from a group of 2 people to a group of 3 people, that they felt that you could manipulate the time of, 2 people just butting up? That was really that's where I kind of I was okay with that when she talked about this, the potential,
I think her point was that if she could be overwhelmed with groups of 2s and maybe try to limit it to 3.
Yeah.
I just feel that groups of 2s work really well when you're trying to speak, and when you only get a minute to speak and you can bring a friend and you can speak for 2 minutes. A minute doesn't really allow you enough time to really make your point.
I would agree with that.
So.
I would agree with that.
Anyways, I really appreciate council listening and making the changes.
Yeah.
So,
Okay. So we got a motion.
I'll second.
Second motion. Okay. Any further discussion? Same. Remaining people, all in favor? Be unanimous then. Okay. All right, I don't know what the status is back in the room back there. Because that's basically the last action item here is vote results. And then we just have other mini reports. Hey, go back to just starting. Okay. All right. Okay, so what we're going to do is if there's any further reports. Any other discussion items from
They're just starting, so we're gonna go into recess because we have no further action items.
To present this to Fred.
Oh.
From all of us, for all the time that you have given us as a board. And we're gonna miss you.
Okay.
And your leadership.
Well, thank you, Nora.
So yeah, it's been 9 years, so I just want to say thank you for everybody. So it's last meeting, and everybody was great. I do want to say, just like watching this meeting, like this last vote that went down 6-5. That's how the planning board is supposed to work. So you guys actually, I think you did a good job, because there's two different views on that, right? One is, it's the best project we could get for that site, and we could get something a lot worse. And the other side is just like, we don't want any of that crap, right? They're just destroying the neighborhood, and it's too much traffic. But it would be nice to see people have a respectful discussion about that, and have people that have different points of view be able to talk and accept that, and have a vote 6-5. It was close, right? So anyway, I've enjoyed my 9 years. My best decision was stepping down as chair last year. Thank you.
So, thank you, Fred. Certainly 9 years of grinding it out here with the board. I'm sure you're tired of seeing our faces and listening to these things. But you've been incredible. Of course, you predate me coming on the board by a number of years, but you know, the legend lives, right? You've done a fabulous job. It's hard shoes to fill. And I don't know about that, but you were wonderful. Certainly when you were standing up here running these meetings, it's like, I wish I could be like Fred. And then you made me try. You know, you've done wonderful things for the community, and there has been just epic things that came through under your charge, and so that things are better in our community because of you and what you've done for us. So I appreciate it.
You'll all carry on and continue to do that. So next.
Okay, we're gonna stand in recess because they gotta count things that you guys don't have to stick around. I mean, you can if you want to hear, you know, what the vote tallies are. But we just have to deal with the last bit of business, and that's it. Okay?
Was there committee reports?
I asked her if there was any reports, and no one said anything, so. Okay.
It works.
Friends.